Hi, welcome back to Family Secrets. We're so glad you're here. This is Course 7, Unit 2, and Hannah Mary is still joining us, our daughter, and we're really glad that she's here. We're talking about beginning momhood. We're really talking about the beginning today because we're talking about the newborn babies when they first get here. That first month especially is just one of those blurs in life that you just have no idea what happened in that whole month, but you had a baby. And so these are some pointers that we hope are going to help get you through that first month. So I'm going to let Hannah kick it off and see what she has to say.
We were talking earlier about how babies, when they come, everyone says, well, they just or they only eat, sleep, and poop. But they only eat, sleep, and poop. And it's when you're in it, it's very frustrating.
Yes.
And can just seem like there's no days or nights and it's just very disorienting. You know how when you go in the store and then you walk out and it's an hour later and you're like, crud, where'd all that time go? For a whole month.
Yes.
So you know, we're warning you.
Yes.
Because they only eat, sleep, and poop.
It's true. It's totally true. That's all they do. And it just cycles over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's your life. Just kind of know that it's your life for a month at least. You're just going to kind of get used to it. And while you're getting used to it, you need to be sure that you get help. Get some help. I was privileged to have a mom who was very helpful. She came home to our house when I came home. She stayed all day long. She would help with all the food. She would do laundry. She would clean up anything that needed cleaned up. She did all the stuff that I couldn't get up and do. And she let me hold the baby and nurse the baby, and she would change diapers if I needed her to. She would do anything. She was such a big help, and it was a really good thing. It was just blessed me so much. And so she did that with each child we had. She would come and take care of everything for probably about a week when they first came home. She was really good. When Hannah had her first, I probably wasn't quite that good, although I have the same kind of tendencies that my mom does, but Hannah lived farther away from us than what we would live from my mom. And she probably was on top of it more, I think. I think she was on top of it more when she came home because when I had my first, I had her. She was a C-section. And so that added to I need someone to help me because I major surgery at that point in time. And then on top of that, baby. So I needed help. And you are going to need help. We are encouraging you, take help. Maybe you don't have a parent around, a mom around who can help. Maybe you don't have siblings who can help. Maybe a best friend, or maybe church people. Hannah has some great ideas on what to do with that.
Yeah, accept the help. In the months leading up to the birth of your child, people will say things like this: let me know if you need help with anything.
Yep.
Just schedule it right there. Just say the yes, because later you're going to be like, who is that person that offered help to me?
Yeah.
What do I actually need them to do?
Yep.
So just take the help when offered. Also, our church with our second baby did this great thing where they set up a meal train. There's a website called Meal Train. And even if you don't have a church that does this, just set one up yourself and you can just text that link or email that link to people who ask what they can do to help. Here, we would love for you to help by bringing us a meal. You can sign up for the day that works for you, and they can let you know through that what they're bringing, so then you don't make spaghetti and then the next night they bring spaghetti. So it's a great way to organize that part because you're going to want to eat a lot of food. We're talking like in the first trimester of pregnancy, you're really hungry. You're going to be that hungry again when you give birth.
Yes.
So just, you're going to want to eat. Your family's going to want to eat. Your husband's going to be like, where's the food? He still wants to eat.
Right.
That doesn't go away for some reason.
Right. Exactly.
So just accept the help and set up the time for people to help you with food. My mom and my grandma always came and bathed baby the first time at home. And one of the things that was also really different when I had kids was both times my husband happened to be at a place with work where he
Right.
took off for
Yeah.
that first week or so.
Right.
So I had someone at home who was
Right.
doing a lot of the stuff that my grandma came and did for
That's
my
true.
mom.
That's true.
So it was a little bit of a different dynamic, but
Mhm.
we still gladly accepted the extra people coming over.
Yes.
My husband loves it when my mom comes over. He'll ask, "When is mom coming over?" Because she
Yeah.
cleans when she
Yeah,
comes. He
I do.
loves it.
Yeah.
Loves it. So accept the help,
Mhm.
and don't be afraid to just know that at a certain point, even if you don't feel right now, like you might feel really good right now,
Mhm.
but later you're gonna want the help.
Right.
So just accept it and get it set up while you're thinking about
Yes, yes. I remember even when Hannah was expecting her second one, there was a woman at her church who she wasn't necessarily looking to bring food, but she's like, "I'll come and clean. I'll come and
Yeah.
take care of your
Mhm.
kitchen, or
Yep.
clean your bathroom." She was offering,
it. Yeah.
and so if they're offering, you definitely
Yeah.
want to say yes, and you want to take
Yeah.
that help. It's
Yes.
a big thing. Take
Yes.
the help. And the reason you want to take the help is because in that first month, especially, you want to rest. You
Mhm.
need to rest. When baby does sleep, you need to rest.
Mhm.
Even if you aren't a napper or you're not feeling tired enough to fall asleep,
Mhm.
you need to rest. You need to just get your strength back. You need to
Mhm.
get your energy back.
Yes.
And drink your water. Drink lots of water.
Mhm.
If you're nursing, you really need to drink the water. Have snacks that are healthy for you, but give you caloric value. My mom was also really good at making caloric value kind of things. She would make
Yes.
dessert. She'd make pudding.
Yes.
She'd do whatever, but anything to add the calories
Yeah.
because you're trying to establish nursing, so it's really
Yeah.
important. Really important to do that.
Yeah. When you have a baby, whether it is C-section, like I was a C-section, I was stubborn.
Mhm.
Sorry.
She was.
Yeah. Or both of my kids were natural births.
Mhm.
No matter what happens in that delivery room, your body needs time to recover.
Yes.
And so I will tell you the difference between my two kids. The first one, I was out of the house and at events by day 7 of
Mhm.
having that baby.
Mhm.
The second one, I was like, I'm taking the week to the month off.
Yes.
And it makes all the difference in the world. Also, your eating, like she said, is incredibly important.
Yes.
One of the things I did so wrong with my first was to eat all the foods that boost the raw hormone. So I was eating estrogen like boosting foods, and I needed it to drop to produce my milk correctly.
Right.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So think about not just what you're eating, but what are you eating?
Mhm.
What is in the food you're eating? And do research on that now
Mhm.
before you have baby, and look at what are good foods
Right.
to boost that, because
Yes.
you're going to be very self-defeating if
Mhm.
you aren't eating the right calories.
Yes.
So if you're just eating sugar all day, that's not going to help
Mm-mm,
you. That's empty calories.
Yeah.
You want to eat rich, nutrient-rich food.
Yes.
So
Yes.
fruits are a natural sugar,
Mhm.
much better for you.
Sure.
Still give you the calories, but aren't going to prohibit that milk production like
Right.
a refined sugar would. So
Right.
just be thinking about that ahead of time.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that went so much better with my second, was I realized what was in my food.
Yeah.
And so I ate the right ones to help my body
Yes.
to do the right things after.
Good. Awesome. Yeah. Exactly. We need to do that. We need to eat well. You should eat well when you're pregnant, but
Yeah.
you keep eating well when
Yeah.
baby comes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're depending on what you're eating
Yes.
to help them. So
Mhm.
it's important.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about sound sleepers versus light sleepers. I have some really sound sleeping children. Super duper sound sleeping children. Like they are like dead to the world the minute their head hits the pillow. I mean, they're just tired. They sleep. They sleep really sound. They're much older now. They still sleep sound. So
yeah, my husband tells me he's jealous of my sleep habits.
yeah. So we come from a family of sound sleepers. My mom will tell you when my sister and I were very little, she would take us to the mall and try shoes on us, and we'd sleep through the entire experience. We never woke up. She did all this trying on, taking
Mhm.
things off, putting things on, but we never woke up. We were very sound sleepers. But I do know that there are light sleepers out there. And so what I want to say to you is that if you have a sound sleeper, be very thankful. And just enjoy the fact that they are a sound sleeper, that they are able to sleep through anything. It's a wonderful, wonderful trait. If you have a light sleeper, you may need a few tools in your bag to help you.
Yeah.
A light sleeper might need something like a heartbeat that's playing, just to give them that.
Yeah.
And you even make toys with that now, right? With the heartbeat in
Sound
it. So
machines.
sound machines. Great
That's
idea.
what they're called.
Also, a light sleeper might need to be swaddled more.
Mhm.
They need to be tight and wrapped so that they feel like they are secure, and that will help them sleep more. What else? What else you got in your bag?
So my kids sleep pretty well. My second better than my first, because he ate ferociously. That's a whole other topic,
Yeah.
but she slept a lot better. But one of the things that always helped us was to have a definite pattern to when we were putting to sleep, because that grows with them. So if you always, change the diaper, put the outfit back on, give a kiss, whatever, swaddle, and then lay down, they know, like, they instinctively know that this pattern is leading to sleep. So that helps. And I've heard a lot of moms that I know who have like sleepers say that having a consistent pattern like that has been really helpful. It doesn't cure it necessarily all the time, but it does help. Along with that, just being consistent as far as not just letting baby nap whenever all the time. So they do have to adjust their days and their nights when they're first born. So they will start off sleeping more during the day, but you want to see that shift of starting to sleep more at night. And if they aren't shifting, we're going to have to keep them awake a little more during the day. We're going to have to say, let's play instead of sleeping, because mommy would like to sleep tonight. If you can make it basically through that first week and you just buckle down and okay, their nights and days are going to be flipped for a solid, probably almost a week. And I can survive nights. I can be nocturnal for a week. If you can do that, then pretty much kids will even that out. And as far as my kids, they sleep. Sorry, they do. I come from the heavier sleepers.
The other thing I'm thinking of is we come from a praying family also.
Oh,
so
yes.
We pray over our kids. So you want to pray and play music, play soft music, peaceful music. You might play worship music. Music has a way of setting an atmosphere that is good for the soul. So try music. Try also praying over them. Lay your hands on them as they're in their crib and just stroke and pray over them and speak peace over them. That is a very, very calming thing, which will help them to sleep better. I think that's probably the best advice.
Right.
Pray.
Bring in the Lord.
Yes, bring in the Lord.
When you are drowning, be like David and cry out.
Yes. Absolutely. Okay. Also, she alluded to, and I'm gonna expand on, baby needs to learn to sleep wherever baby's at. It's awesome and wonderful when baby gets to lay down and in a crib every time and sleep, but that's not life. Life just doesn't happen like that. So my kids always, they could sleep on a couch, they could sleep on the floor, they could sleep in the car, they could sleep in their beds, they could sleep wherever we were, at grandma's, at the great aunt's house. If wherever we went, they could sleep. They were not limited to their crib. It's wonderful when babies know they're in their crib, they're supposed to go to sleep. That's great. And that might be your steady, what you do most of the time. But they need to be able to also lay down wherever you are and just go to sleep. Go to sleep. So work on that. Wherever you're at, don't be afraid to let baby go to sleep, because baby's going to learn. And babies also actually like noise more than they like quiet sometimes. Because the noise just is like white noise that lulls them. So don't be afraid to let baby go to sleep wherever you're at, and just keep working with them that it's okay. Wherever, sometimes my baby slept on the couch, even when they were newborns. We just put a blanket on the couch and I sat on the couch. I laid them down next to me. They just slept right there on the couch next to me. So it was okay. Don't feel bad about putting baby somewhere that's not traditional or your standard.
It doesn't necessarily have to be picture perfect.
No.
So I have pictures of my children like in the picture perfect, like in the bassinet through the little prawns, but it doesn't. That's not all the time.
No.
Now I am home most of the time. We are currently a one vehicle family, so I just stay home. And then if I need a break, I just go out at night. When my
Right.
husband comes home, I'm like, "You're home.
Mhm.
Go to the store." But so my everyday is pretty
Yeah.
basic. We
Mhm.
are at home, so I do have the pattern of laying our daughter down in her crib
Mhm.
to nap because it's away from the other children who will poke her and
Yes.
all the
Yes.
things. But that's not every single day of the week either because like Sundays we go to church and we're at church over her nap time.
Mhm.
That's when our church
Right.
meets. And so
Yes.
she has to either be quiet and
Mhm.
awake or she has to just nap while we're there.
Right.
So it's both.
Mhm.
It's both.
Yeah.
If you have a consistent pattern at home and you can follow parts of that pattern elsewhere, it will help
Right.
them to realize, oh, we're napping.
Yes.
So even when we aren't at home, we
Mhm.
give the blanket, we hold her close, time for nights,
Yeah.
and that helps.
Yeah.
It's not going to be perfect.
Right.
It won't necessarily work every time. You're going to
No.
have times where the kids are like, "Yep, not napping,"
Not napping. Yeah.
even though they should just nap.
Right.
It happens.
Yeah.
But in general, that pattern helps to get them to
Sure.
nap elsewhere.
Yeah. And with newborns, I mean, they pretty much are eating, sleeping, and pooping.
Yeah.
Remember, so
They're going to
they're gonna sleep. So it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Remember that you are fitting your baby, your children as you accumulate them. You're gonna fit them into your life and schedule. Baby shouldn't be the one running the roost.
Right.
So, having said that, we're gonna go into some more things about newborns and babies, but feeding schedules, even starting at the beginning. I was definitely we're a 3-hour schedule person. So they ate. 3 hours later, they ate again, and that's how the cycle went. And as they got into that month, they eventually ate a little more, and we were able to sleep all night, and that was awesome. But I was setting their schedule for them.
Yeah.
I know that there's something about eating on demand, and eating on demand happened with my babies when I was nursing, but it was because they were growth spurting, and you knew
Yeah.
they needed more.
Yeah.
They were just hungry. You could tell.
Oh, yeah.
And so then we fed more and we did what needed to be done. I wasn't neglecting what they
Right.
needed, but I wanted them to be on our schedule so
Right.
that I could plan our life
Right.
and they fit into with us. That's
Yeah.
how it works
Yeah.
the best. So
Yeah. With my first, like I said, I did the schedule. I was incredibly rigid, like to the point where I was like, "You just ate.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?" Even when he probably needed to
Eat more. Yeah.
So I was too rigid. I went the other direction. There's the people who just like at any moment they're feeding, but
Yeah.
I went the other way. I was like, "No, we only eat at these times." I was too rigid. There was no flex. And I also had issues with him just getting full. So that was a whole mess. But then with our second one, I relaxed a little and I was like, okay, we can do this. She was a better eater, so that helped. He was a terrible eater. He ate, just in case you get one of these, every 2 hours for the first 3 months of his life. Every 2 hours.
Yep.
That was crazy. So I had prepared myself for that with the second one. So I'm like, this kid's going to want to eat all the time. But again, I fed myself better and I relaxed a little.
Yeah.
And that helped immensely.
Yes.
And so with her, she would eat. Now, she just wanted to eat constantly. So I had to actually be like, you're done now. You can eat later. But she was able to do more of a consistent schedule. And she did do a couple times where she was, like you said, just hungry. Milk was coming in. She needed more milk, whatever.
Yeah.
So we would have a day here or there where we fed more often, but then she would kind of relax back into her schedule. So just know that you don't want to just constantly be feeding.
Right.
You do want them to have a schedule. But also it's okay to not force them to only do the schedule you want.
Right.
Like there's a give and a take.
Yes.
There's a balance there. So calm down, relax, deep breaths. You can do it.
Yes. Yes. You can do it. That's where we want to leave you with on this one. We hope that you've enjoyed what we've talked about, but we're going to pick up in the next course or in the next unit and talk a little bit more about as baby's growing and the things that need to kind of shift and change. And so take a deep breath. It's all going to be okay.